The Xiongnu were a tribal confederation of nomadic peoples who were led by their reigning Xiongnu. Their territory was divided into two, between the east and the west, which each then had its own commander-in-chief. The worthy Prince of the East belonged to the reigning Xiongnu's clan, which held their heir apparent in accordance with their right to succession. Whichever counter-clan held the worthy Prince of the West had less military power, but rather organised the daily rule of the country, akin to a prime minister. In 178, the leading Xiongnu passed away, plus his worthy clanson was killed a year later by a Han emissary, so the title was then passed on to a worthy eastern prince named Xiang Chu. He reigned alongside troublesome times for the Han Empire, as in 184 he sent his western prince Yufuluo to help fight the Yellow Turbans. 3 years later, he sent even more eastern cavalry troops to help the Han fight rebels in Zhongshan, which caused discontent among the elders. They became alarmed by the frequency at which Xiang Shu sent their men off to do battle, so the Tuga clan rose up in rebellion and killed him. After Xiang Shu's death in 188, the Han court tried to appoint Yufuluo as a puppet Xiongnu instead of using the traditional election system, but this only caused further dissent throughout the Southern Xiongnu. They elected a lawful alternate leader of the Zubu line, then expelled Yufuluo, who then fled to the Han imperial court. When the Marquis of Zubu died the next year, an elderly king became the nominal state head, but he held no official title, so the Southern Xiongnu ceased to exist as an entity. Ultimately, the Xiongnu were defeated by the Han Dynasty after a centuries-long conflict which lasted up until the year 188. The remnants of the confederation then split into two, with the Southern Xiongnu being forcibly resettled back into the Han borders. Yufuluo fled to the court, but found no support after the recent death of Emperor Ling in 189, so he was forced to become a wandering mercenary instead. He worked with the Yellow Turbans, Yuan Shao, and the Heishan bandits under Zhang Yan, during which he suffered several defeats to Cao Cao. He relocated to Pingyan County close to the Fen River, but died in 195, so his remaining followers joined his brother Huchuquan. After his brother's death, Huchuquan tried to regain the title as Xiongnu over the Southern Xiongnu, where he named Xu Bei as his worthy Prince of the West, but they were driven back by the same people who had ousted his brother. In the same year, Emperor Xian of Han made his escape from Chang'an to Luoyang, where his minister Dongchen called upon any and all assistance. Xu Bei and the other White Wave bandits initially routed the emperor's pursuers, Li Jue and Guo Si, but when Li came back with even more troops, the bandits stood no chance. Despite their heavy defeat, the emperor was able to escape, so Xu Bei accompanied the caravan to the new capital, Xuchang. Huchuquan led the remaining southern Xiongnu to serve under Yuan Shang in 202, but they were eventually defeated by Cao Cao's officer, Zhong Yao. After Huchuquan surrendered in 216, the Xiongnu title was abolished by Cao Cao, then he was kept at Yi as an honoured guest, but in reality he was a prisoner. He attended Cao Pi's ascension ceremony in 220, but after Huchuquan's death, no new Xiongnu was proclaimed. Cao Cao relocated remnants from the southern Xiongnu to Dayuan Commandery, but they were split into 5 divisions, then put under the supervision of Liu Bao and Xu Bei. By between the years 249 and 254, Liu Bao reunited the 5 divisions, which caught the attention of Deng Ai. He advocated to Sima Shi to have the Xiongnu separated into 2, but it wasn't until around 10 years later that they were resplit into 3, and then into 4. And as a further measure to prevent an uprising, Liu Bao had to send his son Liu Yuan as a hostage to the Wei capital, and the Xiongnu in Bing were soon living in 5 divisions once more. It's argued that Liu Bao and Liu Yuan were actually members of the Tuga tribe, and that they fabricated Liu Bao's lineage back to his apparent father Yufuluo to increase their legitimacy over their new kingdom. In the year 304, Liu Bao's successor Liu Yuan would go on to found one of the first states of the 16 Kingdoms period, the Xiongnu ethnic Han Zhao dynasty. He de-established his imperial lineage from the Han dynasty and claimed ancestry directly from the founder of the Xiongnu Empire, Modu Chanyu. The legend of Modu Chanyu says that Tumen favoured a younger son from another woman, so to get rid of his eldest son Modu, he sent him away as a hostage to another kingdom, then made a sudden attack on them. Modu's new host planned to kill him in retaliation to Tumen's attack, but he was able to steal a horse and escape back home. His father was so impressed by the bravery and skill that he put Modu in command of a mighty force of 10,000 horsemen. Modu was very successful in training his men to obey him absolutely. He commanded them to shoot his father, killing him as well as his stepmother, younger brother, and all the high officials who refused to take orders from him. Thereafter, Modu became Xiongnu. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.